What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this is the DC Typhoon. One of my viewers suggested in the comments that we should build this because it's very fast on the drag strip, especially with not the stock engine, but with the 2-carb overhead valve, a supercharged engine stuffed in there. So that is what we are going to do today. As I said, this is the DC Typhoon. It's got a lot of mileage on it, so we'll be all right with that one. We need to try and sort it out and hopefully make a bit of profit later. We got ours at the auction house. It's available barn, junkyard, and auction. Nice and simple one. And this is a base game car or a law car. I haven't done one of these in a very long time. It's mostly been DLC and mods. So let's get into it. Did we get a good deal on this one from the auction house? No. Absolutely not. 22,635 is what I paid, and I could sell it right now for 18,788, losing out on 3,847. As we said, we're going to be swapping in that supercharged engine, so we're going to ignore all of these numbers for the moment, and that's what we're going to do. I'm looking forward to this one. Hopefully it'll be quick on the drag strip. I've got a couple of ideas for what it's going to look like, but you've already seen the thumbnail, so you already know. So let's just get into it. Let's get this beast into the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with our little DC Typhoon. I can already see at the moment it's white with a blue livery, I believe. So let's get it cleaned and confirm that from underneath. There we go. Nice and clean and shiny. It is white with the dual blue stripes. Looking quite nice, but not what we're going for today. Let's get back in. Let's get the interior done. Let's get this beast back onto the lift to get the engine ripped out of there, ready to be sold on for a little bit of extra money before making that supercharged engine, getting it stuffed back in and getting this one all back together. The Typhoon's in the air. Let's check for the oil pan. There is a big old oil pan in there, so we need to get that drained first of all. Save us dropping any liquid on the floor. Dripping, I meant to say, but it still works. Out you go. A little bit dirty. Not very much of it, but let's get underneath and see what we've got going on with this in here. Straight away. Nice loose thing. We get started with the starter. Out you come. Nice and easy. Then we jump into the smallest drive shaft I think I've seen in this game. I like it. With the one rusty bolt as well. Out you come there. Nice and easy. Then let's rip this gearbox out of here. We do have the beautiful side exit exhaust on this lovely Typhoon. So we're going to need to pull that out as well, just to make sure we can get the engine out of there. So both of them rear mufflers, out you come. And that should be enough to pull that engine out. So let's get you back down on the ground. Let's run on over and get the crane, especially now we've got a lot more room. Now that bus is gone out of our way. We open the hood, although it opens backwards. Out you come. Nice and easy. That is what we like. And then let's see what we've got going on in the engine bay itself. Fuse box, brake servo, wishy-washy reservoir, battery, radiator with the coolant inside, and the power steering reservoir. Is that everything? That looks to be everything in there. Down the back, hopefully we've got a fuel tank and a fuel pump. We have indeed. Nice and simple. Back up to the front we go, because we need to drain some liquids. And one of the things I want to point out is that you always have to drain liquids from this radiator. So right-click, additional tools, drain tool, click on hold on the radiator, and it will drain all the coolant out. Nice and simple. I'm going to get the rest of this all cleared, get all of the suspension stripped out, repaired, replaced, upgraded, ready to go back in. And then when we come back, we sort out this beautiful bodywork before taking the DC Typhoon into the paint shop, see what we're going to do with the liveries and colours today. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded on the beautiful DC Typhoon. Now, we need to strip this bodywork down, starting with that hood. I know you're definitely not going back on there. Nothing there, nothing there. Out with the headlights. What have we got? Windshield, definitely get you out. Nothing on the side skirts there. That's definitely a tail light. Out you come. What else have we got? What else have we got? One door. Is that mirror? Out you come on the mirror. And, yeah, that actually might be it. But anyway, never mind. Let's get back in. Out with that steering wheel. Out with that beautiful seat just there. And let's see if we have actually got everything out. Down to 1% on there. Wrong screen. And nothing showing up on there. So we actually have got everything. I have already put the supercharged engine in there. So we're starting with 498 base horsepower for this beautiful DC Typhoon. That's all the body strip though, so the frame is at 25%, and we bought it for a little under 23,000. What are we saying today? I'm going to say 950. 1,600. Turns out I was way off. But let's jump in, check out the body shop for the DC Typhoon. And that is all your parts on there. Nice and simple. Doors, windows, mirrors, everything like that. But there is a couple of tuning options for the DC Typhoon. If I just do that again, so you can see body tuning right underneath the bodywork station. and then find the DC Typhoon. You got 2 different hood options. I believe this is just a chromed out cover to go on top. We're going to have the supercharged scoop in there, so we're going to need the cutout. So we'll definitely be going to that one. We can take the chrome out of the bumpers with these lovely pieces here, and some slightly different head and tail lights. Let's go check out the normal head and tail lights. Yeah, taking the red out of it effectively for the tail lights. I'm not sure what it's done with the headlights. Maybe it's just slightly little bit different. But there we go. We're going to get this back together. There isn't much to change. Probably am going to go with the alternative headlights, tail lights. Maybe about the bumpers. It depends on the chrome everywhere else. So we'll find out in just a minute. Let's get everything repaired that we can, buy what we need to, and get this beast back together. Let's get the little DC Typhoon dragster all back together. Let's just throw it all in. I did go with the alternate headlights, the lovely B headlights on there. They do look a little darker. I don't really know what else is the difference about them, but I'm sure there is a slight difference. But there we go. We did also go for the front bumper Bs. We are going to be using a lot of chrome. We've still got the chrome pins in there, just a little bit of black on the front, making it look better. And as for the hood, obviously we had to go for the cutout hood C on there. Mirrors are just the mirrors. Windows are just the windows, so let's just get them in. Doors are also just the doors. You can't interchange them, so on they go. Mirror on the other side, a window on the other side, and a door on the other side. That's all the front end done, apart from the license plate. Rear trunk, that is just the part that it is. For the tail lights, we did go for the alternative ones, the B tail lights, and they are actually looking incredible on there. I really like them. In you go and in you go. And the rear bumper, same as the front bumper. We went for the darker alternative ones. The B option, looking very, very nice on there. And I'm pretty sure that's actually it for the bodywork. So let's get on with the rear plate. I've gone for the DC Dragster, slightly abbreviated. And I'm pretty confident the plates still aren't fixed. But I have heard they'll be coming fixing with the BMW DLC when that comes out. In we go. Yeah, still not fixed. But anyway, never mind. Back on with the plates. In you go and in you go. And let's crack on with the interior. For the interior today, I'll be honest, I've just left it as it was. It had a really good looking interior in it anyway. So we're just going to chuck it all back in. We may try and do something with the colours later. I'm not sure. There isn't really a lot of extra wood in there. So nothing to play off the steering wheel. So maybe we'll take the wood out of the steering wheel. We shall see. But now let's double check. Have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. We definitely have. Let's get the beautiful DC Typhoon into the paint shop and pick some colours. In the paint shop with the beautiful DC Typhoon, and this is the colour we're going for today. This sort of like minty, tealy sort of colour, looking absolutely fantastic. We are going with a livery as well, so don't worry. But I just wanted to show you the liveries don't work with the cutout hood, which is a bit of a shame. But I have gone to the one I'm using today and amended it a bit enough. Very quickly, very briefly, just so I could get the video done. You can see it's not quite perfectly lined up. Quite hard to find that one, I won't lie, but I have got it sorted. That's what we're going for today. It's going to look very good. I like the metallic finish. The orange is almost bronze. We got black, white, and then obviously this lovely blue to play around with today. And if I just go into this mode here, I've made the screws so they'll all be white officially. But because we're in metallic, they might go a bit of a silvery grey colour. But that's what we're going for today. So let's get it on. On you go. Looking the best we could get it in a very short amount of time, I will be honest. But before we jump into anything else, do I have anything to the screws? I don't, so I can't see the screws yet. Okay, never mind. We will come back to that one later. I might have to change the colours of the screws. But that's what we're going for. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. You've got the orange, the black, the white, and this lovely blue on there as well. We're going to mix all of that in with colours on the engine. I'm not sure what colour to make the scoop yet, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. We are going to try and maybe add a bit of that orange to the steering wheel if we can get it to look all right. Only if I can get it to look all right. But we are going to keep some of the chrome on there as well today. So that's what we're going for. It's looking awesome. Let's get it back on the lift. Let's get everything else painted and start reassembly. That's everything painted, ready to get our beautiful DC Typhoon all back together. Couple of tiny little pieces have changed. The big one is the steering wheel. We took the wood off, got some orange around it and some better coloured chrome on the centre of the steering wheel there. And if I just jump into photo mode, something absolutely pointless has changed. I've made the trails that the seats sit on the beautiful orange as well, just for good measure. Liking that on there. I have also adjusted my white bolts. I flipped the two numbers. I had the saturation up and the brightness down when I was meant to have the brightness up and the saturation down. So there we go. Bear that in mind if you want white bolts. Don't listen to an idiot on the internet. But there we go. Let's start getting all the suspension together. Starting with, let's start with the shocks. We've got orange shocks and the blue springs on there today. Oh, a little bit jumpy there. Looking absolutely beautiful. Loving them. A real showcase of the awesome colours on this car. But now let's jump in and let's start with obviously our rear axle. In you go. You are in the beautiful orange on there. Loving that. Pinion bearing, in you go. Then we've got that rear pinion diff gear. And then the actual flange on the front there. The first white bolt. It looks absolutely fantastic. I'm glad they came out white and not a chromey colour. Very, very pleased with that. Back around to the back. The rear diff, in you go. Oh, I'm in the fuel tank. The cap's just on the top there. Some more lovely white bolts. In you go and in you go. And then the cover on the back in just a black. And then beautiful white bolts. Just finishing that one off. I think that looks fantastic in there. There we go. Now we want to get up to the front. In we go, starting with our beautiful front suspension cross member in the orange. And we've also got the steering rack in a black and the sway bar in a chrome on there just to keep up with that. Now we're going to cut some clips of the rest of this all going in, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. That's the first half of the suspension all finished. A few little splashes of that blue in there. Mostly in orange and black, though. A few orange bushings as well. Looking pretty nice down the back here. I'm liking that. Let's get up the front and take a look at this. Again, few splashes of that blue and nothing overly special. Mostly in the orange and black. A little bit of chrome up the front here. Nothing too special, but it is looking very, very nice. I'm incredibly pleased with it. Even got orange bushings in the black bushings in the orange there. Very, very nice. Let's jump down the back, though. Fuel tank, in you go, in just a lovely metallic black. Fuel pump in that beautiful, beautiful orange. And then we're going to crack on, or say I'm going to crack on, get the other side of the suspension all finished. Then we'll come back and sort out the beautiful engine bay before going and building that supercharged V8. That's the suspension all taken care of using plenty of that orange, a few splashes of black, and a little bit of that blue in there as well. With the bolts all in white, looking fantastic. But now we need to get up and sort the engine bay out. We're going to start with the wishy-washy reservoir, not painted. Brake servo, not painted today. Power steering reservoir, also not painted. And then we've got the big old radiator seat in there, which is in just that metallic black on there. For the battery tray, we went with the beautiful orange. Battery not painted, as per normal. A bracket on top in the orange. And then for the chrome bracket rods, I just kept them in chrome today because we have got a few splashes of chrome on this build. Yeah, that's the engine bay. Very small engine bay in this one today. If we come out, the chrome's obviously all around the windows. The roll bar, guessing that's a roll bar, the mirror there, and then obviously we've got that front grille. So we've got a bit of chrome in there anyway, so it's nice to play around with them. The engine bay, not much colour without that engine in there, just a few bits of black, a little bit of orange from that battery, but that's about it. But now I'm stuck on the crane. Now we need to go and build that supercharged V8. This is going to be wild. In we go. The block is in a steel black and orange on there, looking very nice. The oil pan is in a steel black, and the heads are in that beautiful, beautiful orange. I left an exhaust manifold on there. How unprofessional of me, but let's just carry on anyway. Inside the heads up here, obviously we've got the rocker arm and push rod setup. 8 on either side. 16 in total. 4 spark plugs on either side. 8 in total. But let's crack on to the front of the engine. I'm going to try and stick on this side. Cam gear, in you go. Timing chain, in you go. And then we've got the timing cover on top in that beautiful, beautiful orange on there. Looking very, very nice. In you go. Water pump today. That's in a chrome. Keeping up with some of the chrome we've got going on. The crankshaft pulley is also in a lovely chrome on there. Along with the alternator. In you go. And the power steering pump just over here. There we go. And as you've already seen the other exhaust, it is in a full chrome. So we're just going to get this one on as well now, rather than saving it for last. In you go. All bolted up. Very, very nice. Looking good on there. If we carry on down here, we've got the supercharger water pump pulley, which is just in a black. Serpentine belt B, the first one to go on, is just in a cheeky little black on there. Then we've got the fuel filter in the blue. The ignition coil also in the blue. And then down here, we've got the oil filter, which I've not painted because it already came in a black with some white lettering on it, which already fits in with the colours. These bolts will be white once they're in the car, trust me. Anyway, ignition distributor, in you go. You're in the blue and steel black, just a little bit of it in there. Rotor not painted, and then the distributor cap is in the steel black and blue. Only a little bit of the blue on there, mostly in the steel black. But the clips, beautiful, beautiful clips in that lovely orange. If we can get the one at the back. Whoa, jumpy, jumpy, jumpy. There we go. The one at the back there, also in that beautiful orange. Then we got the engine head covers. These are just in a metallic black, not the steel black we've used on the block or the oil pan. Lovely shiny metallic one at the top here. In you go, and in you go there. Let's get you all bolted up, ready to go. Then we can crack on and get a little bit more done. Supercharger intake manifold in the orange. That's looking so good. I love that piece in there. Looking great. Before we jump on, I'm going to throw on the ignition wires. They are in that blue, just keeping up with a little bit of the blue on there. Not too much, though. And then we got the supercharger. This is in orange and chrome, and it looks fantastic. Just another extra splash of chrome on the top of the engine with the pulley itself in the orange. Last of the belts, one there and one down here, all blacked out, looking very nice. We've also got the radiator fan as well in a steel black, not the metallic black on the fan, just the steel black on there. You probably won't get to see it much anyway. But if we jump back up, 4-barrel carburetors, in you go. They are in the orange. It's not quite the exact same orange as everywhere else, because if I forced it, I lose the red, and I kind of wanted to keep the red. It's the only way to get a bit of two-tone in there, and we like two-tone. Scoop air filters, these are chrome, but they're not the full chrome. They're the chrome plated on the quality of life mod there, so chrome plated on them ones. And then the air scoop, well, I couldn't do that in the middle without being orange, and some lovely black flap vents on there. Looking absolutely fantastic. I love that engine. Just enough of the blue that we keep up with the body. Lots of chrome, plenty of orange and black. But now, let's get it dropped in to the DC Typhoon and see how good it looks. In you go. Thank you, engine crane. Let's get you put away and then take a look. I love the chrome on the supercharger. That looks nice coming off the top there. Maybe we should just delete the hood. Oh, then we'd lose delivery. I had spent time straightening up anyway, but never mind. I'm liking that. That's looking good. And then all the white bolts, just finishing it off, all dotted around there, just for a little bit extra. The only reason I went with white bolts is because we got these white-ish bits on the circles for the numbers there. Looking very good. Close it down. You just about to see some of the chrome through there. A little splash of the white and the orange scoop. Beautiful. Loving that one. Up in the air we go with the beautiful DC Typhoon. Let's get this one all finished off. Not much to go. If we jump in, gearbox is where we're at. In you go. Now, you are just in the black. Normally, I do this two-tone, but I've kept it just the black on this one today. Mostly because the orange that fills in this plate was a very dull orange, not shiny like this one at all. So I wasn't a big fan of it. Drive shaft. I've gone for the carbon fiber drive shaft, but painted it so there's no carbon fiber. It's just in a full orange, and it's definitely too short to fit in there. The knuckle connection is all a bit weird, but never mind. It's in. It's looking good. Starter up here, just in an orange. Not a forced orange, just its base color, which is why it gets this browny texture on it. And then the last pieces are the rear mufflers, which are both in a full chrome on there. Looking very, very nice. And there's exhausts. Do stick out the side of the car. Stuck on the lifter. Do stick out the side of the car for just an extra piece of chrome on there. There we go. That's the underside all done. We got liquids to top up. We're not going to tint this window today. We are going to get some beautiful wheels done and get the DC Typhoon outside in the sun. All finished with the beautiful DC Typhoon and looking fantastic in that blue and orange with a little splash of black and white in there as well, and some chrome efforts. Loving these rims. We kept the Typhoon rims today. They're looking pretty good. We went up a few sizes. They went up to a 19-inch rim on these. 225 width on the front, 45 profile, and ET of 30 so that the rim didn't clip with the brake calipers on there. And still just about inside that wheel arch. Looking very nice. Down at the back, although it's still a 19-inch rim, the rear tyres are 345 width because we're drag racing today and we want to be able to get that power down. And it's got a 35 profile, but at the back here, we didn't need any ET at all. But we did still manage to bring the wheel out all the way in that arch. Looking very, very nice on there. Very pleased with that. Open up the hood. Loving that engine. It looks so fantastic in there. And obviously the interior with a little bit of orange on the railings for the seat there. And obviously the orange on the steering wheel. But let's jump inside. In we go. Looking good in here. The livery even comes into the interior. Very much liking that. A bit more chrome in here as well. But let's get it started and listen to that supercharger whine. There it is. Nice little grumble on the tick over as we come to expect from the supercharged V8s. But let's give it some gas. That whine is so nice. So nice. Absolutely loving that one. But today we're drag racing, so it's time to get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower will be, what its drag rating is, and then get it onto the drag strip. Here we are then, on the dyno with the DC Typhoon 498 factory horsepower from that 2-carb supercharged V8. How much have we squeezed out of it today? And what will its drag rating be? Let's have a look. A gain of 493 horsepower, 99%. So close to a whole new engine on top there. But we don't have an ECU on this one today, and that's where a lot of the tuning comes from. Bringing us up to 991 at total horsepower. Almost 1,000 horsepower from the little DC Typhoon that weighs next to nothing. I've got a feeling this one's going to be very quick. Drag rating of A, 999. Very much at the top end of that one. But before we get it onto the drag strip, let's check out the gearbox tuning. That's what we've gone for today, a 2.03 ratio, apparently 102 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to a measured 463. Again, this could be quite good on the drag strip. As I said, no ECU to tune on this one, but we do have 2 carbs to tune, so we've got them fully tuned. Don't forget to check out the shorts to learn how to tune the carb perfectly every time without fail. And if you go into the shorts on my channel, you can also see how to do the ECU. But anyway, let's get this beast onto the drag strip and try and win a new tournament and get the DC Typhoon into the top 10? Maybe? It's time to try and get in the top 10 with the beautiful DC Typhoon. So let's get into it. King of the Sands, 1 mile, A-class, and pay our 1,000 entry fee. Who have we got with us today? Our first race is against the Ford Mustang drag car. Pretty impressive. Fritz, nice to see you again in my VM Gasser Del Rey Custom. I'm loving that one. Got my brother just Sam in the VM edition Thor Hamadal Strahl S. Liking that. Who else have we got with us? Jackal, nice at the top there in the RTR Fastback Ford Mustang. Liking all of that. I just want to say a huge thank you to my lovely, wonderful viewer who left a comment suggesting we do this one today. Did list it officially as the Shelby Cobra, not the DC Typhoon, but did go on to say it was the Law or the base game one. So that's why we're doing it today and trying to get it into the top 10. Let's try and win our first race, the Ford Mustang Drag. That Ford Mustang Drag looks absolutely beautiful. Nice colour choice as well, very similar to what we've got on the DC Typhoon. Just no livery. I don't know if we're going to win this one or not. That Ford Mustang Drag is very quick, so let's just get in. Let's go. Off the line in the Typhoon, into second. This thing is fast, into third. Where's the Mustang? We are way out in front of that. Very happy with that one. Let's get this little beast into top gear, get across the line, and see what sort of speeds and times we get from our first run today in the DC Typhoon. Come on, where's that Mustang? Still really far behind us. Can we break 400? No, we can't quite break 400. Oh, crashed into the wall at the end there. 397 kilometers an hour is what we finished. But the quarter of a mile in 8.685 seconds. That is very quick. I'm not sure if that does get us into the top 10. It's close, though. We'll find out in a little while. The 1 mile with the 21.274 seconds. There we go. We've made it for our first race. I'm always happy with that. Let's get into the next one and see who we're up against. Unfortunately, my VM Gasser is not good enough for Fritz to drive, so he's been knocked out. My brother Just Sam is still in, and Jackal's still in up at the top there. But we got to get through our next race, which is the DeLorean wide body. And I've been burnt by this one before, so I know it can sometimes be a bit of a nightmare on the drag strip. The beautiful wide body DeLorean. Look at it. It looks so good. It is a very nice car. We have raced it before, and I've been beaten by it many a times. Hopefully we can beat it with the DC Typhoon today. So let's get in. Let's go. Come on, Typhoon. Off the line. Into second. Oh, no. That sounds close. Into third. Where are we? Oh, we are way out in front. This DC Typhoon, I think, is a lot quicker than I'm giving it credit for. Let's get into top gear. Check where that DeLorean is. Nowhere near us at the moment. We are pulling slightly to the right, so I'm just going to straighten out a little bit. Come on, Typhoon. Let's get across the line. Win race number 2. I think we did, although it was very close at the end there. we did just about manage to win this. 8.862 to the quarter of a mile this time, which sadly wasn't as good as our first run. 21.434 to the 1 mile. Again, not quite as good as our first run, but still with the same top speed of 397 kilometers an hour. But look how close that was. Not very much in that at all. We very, very nearly lost to the DeLorean right at the last, but luckily we've made it into the next round. There we go then. Just Sam's made it in. Now it's the brotherly rivalry to get us to the final. Who's going to win, me or my brother? Fingers crossed it's going to be me. And at the top here, we got two Ford Mustang drag cars facing off against each other. Let's get in and see if we can beat Sam and make it to the final. There it is. My brother driving the Hamad Austral S VM Thor Edition with a few extra tweaking and tuning, making it a little bit faster than the standard one. But are we going to beat it today with the DC Typhoon? Sorry, bro, but I certainly hope so. Let's get in. Let's go. Come on, Typhoon off the line. Into second, into third when we get there, into third. Where are we? Oh, we are pulling away. Oh, this car is incredible. I know we almost lost to the DeLorean, but we did make it through. I am very impressed with this. Lovely suggestion in the comments. If you have any suggestions what we should try, do let me know in the comments below. But anyway, let's get across the line. We've made it into the final. We've beaten my brother. Not by much, but by enough. But with a quarter of a mile time of 8.871 seconds. Again, not as good as our first run. 21.488 seconds to the 1 mile. And a slightly slower top speed. I don't know if I missed a gear change there or something like that. But not quite as good as our first run. But we were in the final. And that's what counts. So let's go and challenge the finalists. Let's get into the final then. It's the Ford Mustang drag car driven by Andrew Edwards versus the DC Typhoon driven by us, the virtual mechanic. Let's get in and try and win this final race. We've already beaten the Ford Mustang drag car once today. Can we make it 2 for 2 and get this beautiful DC Typhoon onto the winner's podium and collect all them extra winnings? There's only one way to find out. Let's go. Come on, Typhoon. Last race of the day, into second. You can do this. I don't want to lose to a car we have already beaten once, and it looks like we're not going to. We are definitely out in front as it stands at the moment. As we get into top gear, can we make this our best run of the day? Beating the 8.685 to the quarter of a mile. I certainly hope so. Come on, DC Typhoon. Let's get across the line. Let's find out. Let's have a look. 8.791 for our final run of the day. Unfortunately, we have got consecutively slower as we've gone on today, which is a bit of a disappointment, but it is what it is. Well, I mean, that was a bit faster than the last one, but not quite beating our first run. 8.865 to the quarter of a mile. 21.274 to the 1 mile with a top speed of 397 kilometers an hour. Let's go collect our winnings, get a Typhoon back to the garage, and get it sold on, hopefully, for a little bit of profit. And there we go. There's our winnings of 11,250 from our beautiful drag tournament, which we did win with the DC Typhoon. And I am quite impressed with this car. Maybe we should do a custom one of these at some point and make it just that little bit crazier and that little bit faster. We'll find out maybe at some point. Let's get back to the garage, though, get this one sold on and try and make some money. Unfortunately, the beautiful DC Typhoon didn't quite make it into the top 10, but it still did a very good nonetheless, with the quarter mile time at 8.685 seconds, 1 mile time at 21.274 seconds with a top speed of 397 kilometers an hour. Not too bad at all from this beautiful, beautiful little car. Love the suggestion. It's been a very fun build. We've had to do a little bit of customization, and as you can see from that livery, it's not perfect. But now on to some facts and figures about this beautiful little car. We bought it for $22,635 and could have sold it at a loss of $3,847, but we didn't do that. We spent a further $63,625 upgrading, tuning and painting this beautiful car, getting it ready to run on the drag strip and come in 30th out of 101 on the speederboard, which I'll be honest isn't too bad at all. But we spent a total of $86,260 to get there. Can we make some money? Let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% complete, looking fantastic as well. Loving the livery, even if we did have to customize it a little badly ourselves in a very short space of time. But anyway, that supercharged engine from 498 horsepower up to 991, a 99% power increase. Loving that one, especially considering we didn't have any ECU to tune in there. But we did spend $86,260 to get there. Is there some money to be made? with a sale price of 147,309. There definitely is. Take away what we spent, leaves us with 61,049 a profit, plus our drag strip winnings of 11,250 takes us up to 72,299 from this beautiful DC Typhoon. I've really enjoyed this one today. It has been a lot of fun, but it is now time to say goodbye to this beautiful, beautiful car. Let's get it sold on and see what we've got coming next. Off you go. A lovely sale there. Well, we always talk about the competitions here on this channel, and the next competition car was the Salem GW500. So we've made a custom one of them. As you can see already, just from there, it is slammed down quite a bit. Can I get into this a second? I can't. I was going to show you the list of bonus parts. I believe it's got 45 bonus parts I've added to this one. It is going to be pretty wild when it's finished. I'm definitely very much looking forward to that. But let's jump in. As I said, is the Salem GW500. We've called it Sounds Good. That's as much clues as I'm going to give you. I got mine from the auction house. I did have to edit the files to make it available in the auction house, so don't expect to find a Salem GW500 there normally. But it's in relatively good condition. I'm not too bad. The body's the worst part, but we're probably going to replace most of that anyway. The engine in this one is the i4 double overhead cam K series engine. It's not going to be the most powerful, but we're building a show car. This is going to be how it looks, not how it performs. You know what we do here. Did I get a good deal for it? No. 23,860 is what I paid, and I can sell it right now for 23,043, only losing out on 817, which I'll be honest, isn't too bad at all from this beautiful little car. So make sure you join us back here on Wednesday for this beautiful, beautiful project. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to do a livery, which I haven't finished yet. But there is a lot of bonus parts, even if I don't get round to one. It's still going to be a cool build nonetheless. What did you think of the incredibly fast DC Typhoon? Thank you for your suggested comment. I'll put it on screen now to go and do that one. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely really, really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. Do leave a like if you did. Share this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And any suggestions for future builds, always happy to hear them in the comments. Thank you for sticking around to the end. One of the best ways you can support me here on the Virtual Mechanic channel. Thank you very much for that. Have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.